I'm Alex Stoddard. I'm 32 years old. I am the general manager here at Cutty Resort. I've been work camping 3 years, my last stint, and then I worked as when I was younger for like 4 years. Well, my dad owns the campground, or is one of the owners, so I guess it's like a family business. I mean, it's a nice job. You're in a great location, and you get to meet nice people. I guess it's when it's dealing with bad guests. That's my least comfortable spot. I don't like being mean as much as people might think I do. So that's uh, that's my least favorite part of the job. I think you need to have a bunch of skills. I mean, it depends on what branch you're in. If you're in housekeeping, obviously it's good to be able to clean and have an eye for detail. You're in maintenance, you want to have a general knowledge because, especially this campground, because a lot of things go wrong. So you need plumbing, electrical, and you need personal people. Every position needs people skills. And then I guess if management uh, ability to communicate is very important. Well, the best benefit is you get to be in a spot that people don't usually get to work in. We're right in the middle of a national forest, in the middle of mountains. So you walk outside your door and you're like, this is all right. I'm okay being here. You don't have to commute, and then you get solitude. It's nice. Uh, Sometimes it's a drawback. Sometimes it's a benefit, but sometimes a drawback when you live and work in the same place. Um, you do create a family dynamic with people you work with, but not all families get along. So that's kind of one of the issues. The other one is we don't have cell service and we're 20 miles from the nearest Walmart. So that's a little frustrating sometimes. We found there was a moose here last year, which I'd never seen a moose at the campground. And there was a dead mountain lion the year before. I've seen bears. So I am the general manager here. That means I'm in charge of hiring and firing. I get to set the budget this year, which is going to be lots of fun. Um, Telling staff what to do, setting up policies and procedures, and then just kind of having a general knowledge of how each of the positions work so I can fill in if I'm not needed. Um, it's nice to help guests. Like, it's nice to see guests come back again and again, especially ones with kids. You make a difference. I don't know if you'd make a difference, but you definitely. I'm not going to be all sappy and say, like, you inspired them, but, like, the fact that they want to come back over and over again means you did something right, which is always nice to see. I don't know, yelling at people, telling people what to do, making sure they actually do what they're supposed to do. Again, when you have the family, it's harder to yell at your family than if they're just people you see once a week or whatever.
I mean, there aren't many jobs where you work and live in the same spot, right?
Especially with
So,
the people you work with, even.
right.
You know. And then, I mean, I don't know, this is happens in some other jobs, but people sometimes just leave in the middle of the night and you got to deal with it. So it's harder. Hiring, I don't know. Hiring's hard all over, but it's hard at a campground. Does the creek count? Then the creek. It's not man-made. I mean, we got our pools and the golf course and that stuff, but the creek's our biggest. I mean, it's my favorite part of the campground. Um, I would say a lot of my I've gained a lot of uh, technical skills here. So, like, I can fix basic machines, or I'm not afraid to try to fix things or plumbing or whatever. On the broader scale, just being better communication. I mean, I think that's a universal job skill, but um, it's something that I've gotten better at and something that I hope to continue to get better at because I'm not perfect at it. I remember camping when I think it was like 8 or 10. I mean, actual camping. When I was younger, we'd have campouts in the backyard with like school friends, and you get bit by mosquitoes, but that's not real camping. I remember going out to Yellowstone and just camping a couple nights. It was fun. I'm not a huge tent guy. Like, if I'm gonna camp, I'll glamp. Cabins are nice. I got a Montana, I think is what it's called. I don't know. It's nice. Again, it's a place to sleep. I don't really care about. I don't move around a lot, so it doesn't matter. I leave it here. I deal with isolation. I don't know. I guess relatively well. Every time I've been up here, I've been single, so it's even more isolating. But I don't know. I'll read. I'm pretty good by myself. I'll read or I'll play a game or whatever. And then when I really need to talk to people, I'll grab a 6 pack and go knock on people's doors and get drunk. So, well, I make friends with people who work camp here. And another time, like that's what the as one of the benefits of COVID, and there were very many, but the acceptance of using Zoom Hangouts with people. So it's easier to hang out with people you don't see a lot now since you get Zoom. Hmm, it's a tough question. I would say, I mean, I appreciate nature more. Like, I don't think I would have ever. I don't know. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time either in towns or cities, so um, there's people who just have no clue about nature or animals or whatever. Like, they get surprised. So living out here, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever. We could deal with deer. Like, the biggest thing surprises me when kids come here and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's a deer!" And you're like, "There's deer all the time." So you just get used to it. So I would say my appreciation for it. I mean, nature's more. It's more impressive than if you're just in the middle of the city. And now, like, I can't. I don't think I could live anywhere where I don't get some sort of nature. No, I don't think it's only for retired people. I think it's for people who want to do it. I think it became common just because retirees need something to do. You know, it's tougher to be a work camper if you've got a family, a young family, or you don't have money for an RV, I guess. But um, I think that's becoming less and less common. I mean, when hiring, I think a good third or so are people that aren't retired. Well, you get a benefit that you don't have to pay rent, so that's always nice. And then you just save. I don't know. You do it like you do everything else. Just save your money. Don't spend it all on Amazon deliveries. Um, I think probably one of the most important things I've learned is that most everyone is about the same. We've got, there's things that divide us or the media or whatever, but when you just talk to normal people, most people they're just people. They have a lot of the same goals, the same desires. They want to be respected or listened to. And then if you can empathize with them, you can relate to them, and that's easier to deal. Like even the worst guests, if you can listen to them, then they'll calm down and then usually you can come to an agreement. Not that's necessarily the thing that what they want, but I don't know. I think when I wasn't work camping, I had the fear of the other, and that has gone away since I've been here. So I make friends by drinking with people. I usually buy them alcohol and then make them talk to me. I handle laundry by doing laundry. I handle house chores by washing my dishes after I'm done. Like, I don't know, it's the same thing as if you're living somewhere. You just have, it's less convenient. I don't know. I haven't met enough work campers. I don't know what sets me apart. I'm taller than them, I guess. Um, Paperwork, budgeting. I don't particularly like hiring and interviewing people. Sometimes it gets boring checking 90 people in a day. I guess as opposed to other types of vacations, I mean you're more, I guess, primal, I would say. You're more in nature. You're getting in touch with how people lived, thousands of years ago. Sometimes, I mean, now we do glamping, so it's still the Instagram friendly. I don't know, you're just in nature. You get to see more stuff. Listen and pay attention. Don't act like you know what you're talking about because every campground is different. So I'm sure that every campground there's someone who's been there a long time and knows a lot about the park. So the more open minded you go into it, the better experience you're going to have. Okay, if we're in a busy season, it would be going through the petty cash, submitting hours for payroll, checking on the different branches and departments to make sure we know what we're doing for the week, and then uh, try to get projects done during the slower times. And then it's usually balls to the walls on the weekend. Again, reading or playing a game, or sometimes it's nice to just write. And then other than that, you hang out with. I mean, if you make a friend with the guests, you can hang out with the guests, or you can hang out with the other people who work camp. Everyone drives a Subaru Outback. Um, the cities are pretty blue. Like Denver's a nice place. It's a little too spread out. Colorado Springs is a little more red because it's got the military base. Boulder have their own culture. You got the Great Plains, which are farmers. You got the mountains, which are mountain people, which are all sorts of weird. Colorado culture, I think, is pretty progressive. I would say it's the reason why they just legalized mushrooms. Like I wouldn't say liberal because there's definitely a lot of Republicans, but they're more purple. I guess they're more in the middle. Progressive centrist. I don't know. I like Coloradans. They're one of the best people I've met. I met a lot of people. It's tough to come up with specific memories. I have good times when even just staff parties, or we went to Cripple Creek last year, which I thought was a lot of fun. It was a good way to get people out of the campground and interact with them um, somewhere that's not where they work. It's a good place for people to see people relax. So I had fun there. I drank way too much, but I had fun there. I don't know. You're asking all these specific questions. I don't remember things. I had to climb in the freaking cistern, and I froze uh, my undercarriage off for the kids because we were. Oh God, we had the worst leak. That was also fun. Is fixing the leak on like the 11th hour before we ran out of water for the entire park when it was full. So that was. I was very happy that we managed to fix that leak. I don't know. It kind of depends on if we sell it, then or not. I mean, it could be. I think Cutty's is at the tipping point where it becomes very successful. So it might not. It could be in the long term plans. Again, I mean, I don't know if eventually I want to make more money. So it's either the campground's going to make more money or we sell it. I guess that's that's the brutal truth of it. I think we had 2 feet of snow last year in the third weekend of May. So there's a lot of shoveling going on that weekend. We also had some floodings the year before where the world was washed out. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Mother Nature makes herself known up here. So you just hope it's not too bad, and then you deal with it the best you can. I don't know. Cutty's is it's a good location. The air is crisp and the leaves rustle. And that's all I got to say about the campground.